Evening. First, chooks. Today the government announced new rules governing battery hen farming. New cage sizes. All new cages will have to be 550 square centimetres, about the size of my piece of paper here. That's an A4 size paper. Existing cages, which are currently 450 square centimetres, will have to provide another 50 square centimetres in 3 years' time. That's about the same as a couple of credit cards. And by 2014, all the cages will have to be that bigger size, the 550 square. Well, any decision on the future of battery farming won't be made for another 5 years, when the scientific literature is then reviewed. Well, this is a blow to opponents of battery farming. They want an end to it now. They claim battery farming is cruel and inhumane. But 92% of New Zealand's eggs are produced by battery hens, and producers say they provide a low-cost source of protein and nutrition. So tonight we're going to look at two chooks. One's a free-range chook, the others live in a battery farm. Hannah Hodgson and the battery chooks. Just a warning, some of these pictures are graphic.
A battery farm hen, no name, not even a number. One of nearly 3 million hens in battery cages in New Zealand. Battery farmers are reluctant to let cameras near their facilities. They say they are worried about security. These pictures were shot by activists who say they broke into a New Zealand battery farm.
Are you sitting comfortably? Do you have enough room? Now imagine you have half the space and have seats stacked above and below you, and that your seat is made of sharp, thin strands of wire. You are now a battery hen.
This advertisement by animal welfare activists Safe offers an insight into life as a battery hen. Is it an accurate insight? If we are to believe the animal rights groups, life at the hatchery begins with debeaking. A third of the beak is amputated to stop hens pecking at each other, to stop cannibalism. Safe says it's painful, cutting through the nerves. The farmers say it's humane. There's no pain. The chook can't stretch her wings. Her feathers will be worn off, her skin covered in sores that will never heal. The new rules give each bird extra space, equivalent to an A4 piece of paper. It's about a 20% increase in space, the same as an extra 2 credit cards.
You will spend your entire life here, in the dark. Your beak will be removed to stop you mutilating yourself. Your bones will weaken through lack of movement, then finally break.
Artificial lighting boosts egg production. The chook thinks the day is longer and lays more than the regulation 1 egg a day. Critics claim a fat-soluble dye is added to her food. It makes the yolk look more yellow, like free-range eggs.
Your senses will be continually assaulted by the smell of excrement, and you will be driven mad by the continuous noise. You will live for 1/10 of your natural lifespan.
Despite these claims, the new rules will require farmers to inspect their birds daily, remove sick, injured or dead ones. It sets new minimum light levels and ammonia levels for housed birds. Male chicks are destroyed when they're 1 day old. They're simply fed into a machine and ground up. Females are taken to the battery farm at 18 weeks. The chook packs a lifetime of laying into a short life. When they're around 1.5 years old, they're sent for slaughter to make chicken stock. Farmers say they check on their hens daily, and to get the best production from their birds, they have to treat them well.
Now, in the interest of fairness, a couple of things I should point out about that track. The shots of the battery hens that they say were shot here, the animal activists say they shot while by breaking in or illegally entering or somehow getting in. We can't verify when or where they were shot. They do tell us it's somewhere around Christchurch, and they say it's this year. Of course, we have no way of verifying that. The other point, the beak snipping or the beak clipping, those shots came from the United States. Well, of course, before battery cages, hens lived traditional lives down on the farm. 6% of our hens still do, and they produce what are called free-range eggs. They sell for more than twice the price of battery-produced eggs. Ian Sinclair takes a look at the life of one chook called Scissors.
this be hen heaven? Perry Spiller certainly has a real farm, where the only thing in the way of a chook and its breakfast is a pesky TV crew. Perry reckons good treatment breeds good eggs.
Some of them develop characteristics. They might be a disability that makes them more dependent upon human intervention, and others just adopt seemingly quirky behaviour and decide that they're more human than hen.
And amongst the throng of rush hour is just one of those birds.
This is Scissors. She's called Scissors, that's her nickname, because she's got a condition called scissorbeak and she can't pick up grain. So she's got used to being fed like this in the evenings. Have a look at the beak, see? That's why she can't pick up any grain.
Disability aside, it's not such a bad life here. This is the nearest thing to a cage, just chicken wire round the run for Scissors' fellow hens.
Wouldn't you say that the worst day on the range would be better than the best day in the cage?
And here's something Scissor gets a battery hen wouldn't: the sun.
She is disabled, just like a disabled person, so she gets a little bit of preferential treatment, that's all. And I'm sure she lays an egg a day, don't you, Scissors? The chickens are out there ranging around. They have a house, they get up when it's dawn, lay an egg, go and drink, browse around, roost in a tree. We don't control that.
So it is in the hen house, Scissors and Co. choose their time to lay, plainly a task that requires concentration. But back to the question, is this hen heaven?
How does one judge happiness in an animal? I'd say they look content. I don't know about happy. Because I don't know that I would be able to tell you if a hen was sad.
Spiller can't read their minds, but he does believe he has a duty to them.
It's respect and husbandry and not exploitation and indifference to their natural lives and patterns and behaviours.
And in Scissor's case, that respect can even extend to a little affection.
When I take the grain away, she'll step up to the top and expect me to pick her up and take her away. Watch.
So is Perry laying all this on a bit thick? By the following he has, it would seem not.
Well, we invited Michael Brooks. I was just laughing at the chooks following the farm there. We invited Michael Brooks, the Executive Director of the Egg Producers Federation, onto the program tonight. Now, they represent the battery hen industry, and after much toing and froing, he declined. First, he did agree to appear, then his PR company said no, it would not be appropriate. Then Mr Brooks agreed again, only on the condition, though, that he would be interviewed alone. We told Mr Brooks that we'd also be talking to free-range farmers and animal rights groups. He then withdrew. We also invited NAWAC on to Close Up. That's the National Animal Welfare Advisory Committee. They formulated today's new rules on cages. They too declined to appear. Tonight, that leaves us with